2023 was challenging. We saw an insane amount of layoffs, AI threatening to take over our jobs, companies asking us to come back to the office even after we've moved out of the busy cities, thinking we're now working remote. So much went on. I wish I can say this year is going to be better, but the way I see it, 2024 is going to be a tough job market, and we've already started seeing it. You're gonna need a pretty good strategy to weather the job market this year. But don't worry, I'm gonna be here to show you how. I've spent some time researching, and in this video, I'm sharing my top 5 job market or hiring trends for this year, how it impacts you, and what you can do to get ahead of it. If it's your first time here, hello, my name is Nicole Nyasha. I'm a certified professional recruiter based in Canada, and I share career and sometimes lifestyle content. AI is going to continue being a thing, but it's not going to replace your job quite yet, so relax. But that depends on what you do. Companies are continuing to explore AI. At first, we thought it was a fluke, it's going to pass, but that does not seem to be the case. Companies are actually taking it seriously. They're investing a ton of money into developing and improving their processes with AI. This means a few things for you as a job seeker. In fact, even if you're not job seeking, this impacts you if you're a working professional. Companies are going to be looking to hire and keep, if you're already employed, people who are skilled in that AI area as it pertains to whatever functions they are hiring for. They want people that know how to incorporate AI into their workflow and make their operations more efficient. Companies are also going to be interested in hiring jobs that AI can't do, like strategy, creativity. AI can't do everything, at least not yet. So if you're thinking, what can you do right now? I think a good place to start would be to look at your role. In fact, look at your entire team, your department, figure out whether or not your tasks can be automated or replaced by AI. If your answer is anywhere close to a yes, then you need to come up with a strategy of how you're going to make yourself indispensable. Do your research and learn the tools. You need to learn them. You gotta adapt or you're gone. And this applies to everyone really, including myself. We all have to think about how we can upskill in a way that gives us some sort of edge. In 2023, we saw companies start to use AI in their recruitment processes. This is going to continue into 2024 as well. So 2024 is not the year you're going to submit one resume to 20 jobs that you're applying for. You're going to need to be more intentional in ensuring that your resume and LinkedIn profile are closely aligned with the jobs that you're seeking, so that your resume passes through the tool that screens it before it gets to the human interaction part. I've already started seeing this one happen. In 2024, companies are going to cut back on spending. The budgets are tighter. What this means for the job market is potentially more layoffs, and we've already seen a couple these past few weeks in big tech. Some hiring freezes, and we're also going to see less backfilling. Backfilling is basically when a company replaces somebody that has left. The company might not replace them this time around because of everything that's going on. The layoff thing is really insane though. This year we've seen people who survived past layoffs last year and thought they were secure now become laid off as well. And I say this a lot, but when it comes to the corporate world, there's no such thing as loyalty. If a business needs to make a business decision that involves letting you go, they're going to do it. And so you need to become the strategic driver of your career. You can't just say, oh, I have a job. You wake up, go to your job in the morning, if you go to the office, or log on if you work from home, and then close your laptop at the end of the day, repeat the next day. You're going to need a career plan. Please, I'm actually asking, in fact, begging you at this point, you need to have a career plan. This is my career best friend. In here, I have a strategic plan of goals I want to achieve in my career this year. I have a detailed action plan of how I'm going to do it, broken down into smaller, achievable monthly tasks or monthly goals. Every month I come back to it, review how I did, set intentions for the following month. I've gotten this planner every year for the past 2 years, and even last year, a difficult job market, was able to get a promotion, salary increases, and so you need a plan. In 2024, you should also invest in networking and building your personal brand. At any point, you should be ready to either make a few calls and have people willing to refer you, or attract companies because of how good your personal brand is. The end of the fully remote work era is here. Sadly, I'm personally upset about this one. I do enjoy going to the office actually. I work in a really cool, fun environment, cool, fun people. My office is cool and fun, and we get a lot of really cool and fun perks when we're in the office. I just don't live really close to the office, and so I hate the commute and the cost attached to the commute. If I lived closer to my office, I'd be in there every workday. In 2023, we saw employees fight back to push to stay remote, but this year, I think we have lost that battle. Most CEOs are pushing for a more hybrid work environment, and a lot of companies are now requiring employees to be in the office at least 3 times a week. What does that mean for you? Adapt or you're gone. But seriously, I don't think there is much that can be done for this one. You either have to look for a new job, but I can assure you that it's going to be really difficult to find a remote job in this current market. There are circumstances where you can negotiate some sort of flexibility depending on your company. Say you have to drop off your kids in the morning, you have other commitments that prevent you from coming into the office. Maybe you can negotiate to be in on half a day instead of a full day on some of the days. But the bottom line is you're gonna need to be in the office more. 2024 is going to be a more difficult job market. At the making of this video, January 2024, I know a few talented, highly skilled people who've been on the market for the past 2 months because they got let go, they got laid off, and they still haven't found anything. So in 2024, you need to be prepared for longer job search cycles and periods. Because of the layoffs, people quitting because they can't go to the office or whatever reasons, there are more skilled people on the market. And then we also have issues on the other end where people are staying in their companies longer even if they don't want to because of that security, because they know the market is tough. And companies are also not backfilling people who have left. So on one end, we have highly skilled people on the market looking for jobs. And on the other end, we have less jobs being posted because people are not quitting and companies are not backfilling. I attended costs and conferences in 2023 where company executives were talking more about internal recruitment. So basically looking for skills within and moving employees around within the same organization instead of spending more money hiring new people. And so my advice on what to do in this current season is instead of rushing to apply for new jobs, keep the job that you have and find a way to upskill yourself, grow internally within your current organization, volunteer to work on new projects, apply to work on different teams, and learn something new. And if you really do want to leave your existing company, make sure you've built your experience and skills to a level where you're pretty good so that you can be competitive. You're also gonna need to learn the art of storytelling. That's probably what's gonna separate you from everybody else because at this point, everybody can do a job. I have a separate video that speaks about storytelling in interviewing, so check that out. Another trend I think we're gonna see in 2024 is companies not willing to commit to hiring full-time employees, but being more comfortable hiring part-timers and contractors. This is a cheaper way for companies to fill their open roles. They don't have to care for you per se. They just have to pay your hourly rate, no benefits, and the other hidden costs that come with hiring full-time staff. What this means for you is that you may have to do more upskilling, like I've mentioned probably enough times in this video already, but working contracts means that you have to work with multiple companies sometimes, and so different companies use different softwares, different tools, so you might have to upskill yourself to learn those different tools. And if you ask me, this might not be a bad thing per se because you're gonna make more money. If you incorporate yourself as a business and write off some of your day-to-day household expenses and whatever costs you incur under your business, you're gonna be left with a higher disposable income than somebody who's, employed full-time. Another win is if you don't like the people that you're working with, you just have to remind yourself that it's temporary. A downside might be you do have to maybe constantly search for new contracts depending on how long the contracts you take is. Either way, I think it's, not as bad as not having anything. And if you do take my advice to build your personal brand, you'll be fine. Let me know what your thoughts are on these predictions. Do you think I'm on track? If I am, let me know in the comments and give this video a thumbs up. And a reminder to get your 2024 career planning workbook and really put your career in your hands. If you found this video useful, please subscribe to this channel and I will see you in the next video. God bless you for watching.